The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi there. We will start in a few minutes time. Marcus de Mariah is preparing for the webinar, which will start in a few minutes. If you need any time to go to the toilet or get some water so you can stay hydrated and attend the webinar in full energy, then now is the time. We will start in a few minutes time. Thank you for your patience. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Goedenavond, dames en heren. Let me scroll here through the list. I think, looking at the participants, that everybody speaks Dutch. Let's check. In the right corner, you can see when you're attending now the webinar, you can see a button with a hand. And please click on it. If you say that you are not aware of the Dutch language, so if you don't understand Dutch, then please click on the hand, and I can see how many people there are that need to have an English version. There is, I think, none. Oké, dat is makkelijk. Dan schakel ik even over naar het Nederlands. Welkom, goedenavond. Het is al druk bezocht op dit moment, het webinar. En ik heb de eer om zo meteen aan jullie voor te stellen aan Marcus de Mariah. Misschien een eerste vraag voor degene die nu inmiddels heeft gezien dat je op dat handje kan klikken. Wie heeft Marcus de Mariah al wel eens eerder gezien of meegemaakt live, bijvoorbeeld bij National Achievers in Engeland of bij het Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar in Amsterdam? Als je daar even op wil antwoorden door op het handje te klikken. Ik zie hier diverse personen. René, Peter, Paul, Ivo hebben allemaal Marcus de Mariah gezien. Voor ons als succesgids hebben wij ook voor het eerst Marcus gezien en ontmoet in juli. Ik denk dat april was het 2011 in Amsterdam. In het Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar. Wij waren zeer onder de indruk van de hele duidelijke en begrijpelijke taal waarmee hij een heel stuk mindset deed van de psychologie van wealth als het ware. Onze achtergrond binnen Succesgids, wij zijn jaren geleden al naar Wealth Mastery geweest van Anthony Robbins. Hebben daar zelf advanced investment strategies gevolgd van Chuck Mellon. En zijn zelf workshops en trainingen gaan geven op het gebied van financial freedom en beleggen. En herkende vanuit deze materie heel erg de kunde en expertise van Marcus de Maraya. En wij zijn hem ook nog tegengekomen bij National Achievers, waar Marcus een van de hoofdsprekers was in het programma tussen Tony Robbins en Donald Trump. Niet de minst geringe personen. En ook daar was Marcus zeer bedreven in in een hele korte tijdsperiode het heel duidelijk uitleggen van wat kan je nou in deze tijden met je investeringen doen. En we horen meer en meer deze dagen dat we in Nederland moeten bezuinigen. En bijna iedereen lijkt erop achteruit te gaan. En je kan je enerzijds leiden door dat soort verhalen en denken dat het met ons allemaal minder gaat. Of je kan die informatie halen bij personen die hier als het ware lak aan hebben. En in dit soort type jaren in staat zijn om extreem hoge rendementen te halen. Dusdanig hoog dat voor een aantal van dat soort rendementen het voor de meeste van ons en wellicht zelfs voor de luisteraars onwaarschijnlijke percentages zijn. En toch is het haalbaar. En op basis van het enthousiasme wat we gezien hebben en de kunde die hij kan bieden aan de deelnemers, zijn we in gesprek gegaan van wat kunnen we doen qua samenwerking. En een eerste stap is nu deze webinar van vanavond. En we zijn er dus heel erg trots op dat Marcus hier voor jullie is, dat we dit hebben weten te regelen. Hij gaat de hele wereld op dit moment over. Azië, Singapore, diverse Europese landen, Amerika, waar hij onder andere het Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar volledig zelf geeft. Dus tegenwoordig zonder TR Baker. En hij geeft daarnaast trainingen over de hele wereld, laatst ook in Maleisië en Singapore. Dit weekend in Londen, waar overigens mijn collega Mark en ik morgen voorheen vliegen, over investeren in commodities, in aandelen, in opties. En ook geeft hij aparte trainingen over forex trading. Dus wij zijn heel erg blij dat hij met zo'n ontzettend druk schema de tijd heeft genomen voor onze succesgidsrelaties. We wensen je dan ook heel veel leerplezier toe vanavond. Op het einde, na ongeveer een uur en een kwartier, zal er ruimte zijn voor persoonlijke vragen aan Marcus. Dus een Q&A sessie. En dat zal ik even monitoren en mogelijk een aantal vragen die ik zie verschijnen, die je in je schermpje rechtsboven ook die vragen kan stellen. Die ik dan door zal geven aan Marcus. En op het eind hebben we ook nog een verrassing in het kader van Marcus en Succesgids en Nederland. Nou, daar komen we zo meteen nog wel op terug. Dus bij deze wens ik je heel veel plezier. And I'm giving now the stage, the digital stage, to Marcus de Maraya.
Thank you so much, Arnoor. Thank you so much for organizing this. Welcome everybody. Thank you. And this is amazing for me because this is the first time that I'm doing a webinar in the Netherlands. So this is fantastic. And thank you, Arnoor, and to Success Gids or Gids. I still can't do it, but I'll get there in the end. Can you hear me, everybody? Arnoor, can you hear me? Just want to make sure before I start talking for an hour and a bit that everybody can hear me. So maybe on the questions, you have a little panel there where it says questions. And if you could just let me know whether you can actually hear me. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, good. So listen, guys, I'm going to talk to you today about leaving a financial legacy. And here's the thing. While I was writing this, leaving a financial legacy, so how you can leave a legacy long after you're gone on this part of your journey. Sometimes we forget we're going to die one day. Aren't you glad you turned up to this seminar? So You are going to die, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that we do leave some kind of a legacy, and I'm talking about a financial legacy and much, much more. While I was doing this, somebody said to me, well, that's great, Marcus, leaving a financial legacy, wonderful, but I need the money right now. So I can't like build up this great big financial legacy like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the JP Morgans, etc. I need to look after myself right now. And I thought, you know what? That is so true. It is true. But leaving a financial legacy starts with you becoming rich first. Because how can you leave a financial legacy unless you actually become rich? So we're going to start with that. And if that's okay with you, we're going to teach you how you can become rich, and then you can leave a financial legacy for the world as well. So if that's okay with you, then I'm going to also ask you to leave any questions that you have, and I'll be glancing over to them now and again, and when a really good one comes up, or maybe I save some of the good ones until the end, but just let's make it as interactive as we possibly can, okay? And I know you guys speak excellent English, so I'm not worried about going too fast. So the aim of this webinar is to get you to start having your money work hard for you. You know, I've traveled around the world with people like Robert Kiyosaki. Now, Robert Kiyosaki was somebody who really influenced me when I first started. And obviously, I'm hoping a lot of you have read his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then the Cash Flow Quadrant, and the 3 million other ones that he's written, you know, Cash Flow for Butterflies and for Left-Handed People, and you know, it's a great thing that he's done. So, and I remember that he always wrote, you know, you've got to let your money work hard for you. You've got to stop working hard. You've got to work smart. Get your money to work hard for you. And we're like, yes, I got to get my money to work hard for me. And then the immediate question that I had was, but how? How? I got to know how, because it's great concept. But how do I do it? So we're going to go into that today. Also, to get you to start thinking a little bit bigger about what to do with your money. You know, not to think small, because if you think small, this is something that Donald Trump, I was just on stage, as Anwar just said, with Donald, and basically, you know, he says, you know, because it's just another zero. It's just the same amount of time and effort, whether you make £1,000 or £10,000 or £1 million. So you might as well aim for the £1 million. So just for us to start thinking bigger about your money, I think would be a good thing. And then thinking about your future. Because yes, first and foremost, of course, we need to have the basics. We need to have food, we need to have water. Then we would like to have some kind of an accommodation so we don't freeze, a bed, etc. But after that, after all those things are gone, what do we want? Well, if you look at, you know, lots of different models like Maslow, for example, talks about then you want the recognition of your peers and all this type of blah, 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 blah. But then there comes a stage when you really want to start giving back. And it's a good idea to start doing it now, because the more you do for other people, the more you become wealthy. And that's something that I really want to emphasize here on this call, because you will do more for other people than you will do for yourself. And if on the way helping other people you become wealthy yourself, then you have just managed to kill many birds with one stone, as they say. So we're going to encourage you to think more long term, thinking about not just your life, but thinking about the next generation. Maybe some people have children here. You have maybe some of you are grandparents. Maybe you have children and children's children. You have grandchildren as well. So thinking a little bit more long term and building real solid foundations for your future as well. Not get rich quick, you know, because come on, we all know that you build something up fast, it normally doesn't have any substance to it. So build things up very solidly so you can build high and you can build far. And we want to get you investing. I want to teach you something today where you can go away and invest immediately, just to get into the habit of doing it. You know, getting into the habit is more important than anything else. So if you guys are ready, then I'm going to start, and I'm going to encourage you to write notes, as many as you possibly can. That's part of the accelerated learning process. So let me ask you a question then. What if a relative, just imagine your father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your grandparents, any one of them, would give you a check for 100,000 euros or more today, would that be good? Answers in the questions box if that would be good. Would that be good? Just imagine. But hold on a moment. For that to happen, many of you are saying, yes, yes, smiley would be great, sure. Sure. I like the sure. It's like, sure, you know. I'll take it. It's not enough, some people are saying. Excellent. Okay, good. Hey, it's not enough. Leo, okay, in that case, you don't get the 100,000. How about that? Because we've got to learn also to be able to receive as well, right? Leo, you still want it? Okay, so let's just say you get a check for 100,000. Leo wants it. Good. Now, in order for that to have happened, surely somebody must have thought to do something a while back, to start investing their money in order to start creating wealth for themselves. And maybe they even thought of you, maybe, all that time. So here's the question. Marcus, wait. I have to start thinking about my finances before I start thinking of anybody else's. And if you wait until you are in a situation where you want to be in the future, you'll just lose valuable time. So the answer is you do both. Start making money for yourself and also for future generations. Just start right now. Don't do what most people do. Say, well, when I'm wealthy, I'll start thinking about, you know, creating a legacy, etc. Why not just start right now? What's stopping you from doing it? So in order for this person to be able to give you the 100,000 euros, they've got to have some money that they have accumulated over time. Let's say they have euro 1 million to invest. And how did they do that? That's what I want to talk about today. How did they do that? So I'm going to set you a new investing target. I'm going to set you a target of 1 million euros invested before you retire. Now I know that some of you are saying that is a lot of money. I can't even think. That's way too big. And some of you are saying that's about right. And some of you are saying, oh, that's not enough. I want to be a billionaire. But you see, for me, that is something that is very achievable. Okay? So if you are looking at that and saying that is nowhere near enough, then that's fine. Add a little bit more. Add another 10%. Or add another 500,000. But don't do what most people do. You know, they go, oh, billionaire, because you don't know what that is. And therefore, it's unlikely you'll achieve that. So just go just out of your comfort zone to make sure that you will actually achieve it. Because otherwise, your unconscious starts saying to yourself, come on, who are you kidding? You know, I don't even know what that is. What is financial freedom? I don't even know what it is. So 1 million euros, that is your new investing target. Okay? So in order for that to happen, what I'm going to do, and by the way, if you're thinking, dude, are you going to introduce yourself or what? Don't worry, I will. I just want to teach you something first. Is it okay if I teach you something first? Let me see if that's okay. I'm going to ask on the questions. Is it okay if I teach you something? Okie dokie. Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. So here's something very, very basic, which people who are in the financial industry, they are using with your money. Okay, so let's just say, and this is a concept everybody can use. Just think about this. And this goes out to the people especially who aren't investing. And listen, if you are out there and you are trading or you are investing and you're not yet making any money, then take a step back. Maybe you're doing something too complicated. Take a step back and do something that I'm going to show you today. And then once you do that and start making some money, then you go on. This is the most simplest and easiest concept ever. It is called, you call it pound cost averaging, dollar cost averaging, euro cost averaging, yen cost averaging, you call it what you like. All you need to do is, let's just say you have a job or you have a business, okay? And money comes into your account, I'm guessing, every single month, I'm guessing, right? It's just a guess. So some money comes in, it could be 2,000 euros, it could be 3,000, it could be 10,000, I don't know, okay? So you then take, and if some of you have been to the Millionaire Mind Intensive, good or good. If you've been to the Millionaire Mind Intensive, you know that we have a 10% financial freedom account. Okay. So what are you going to do with that 10%? You know, some people think that they leave it in their account. No, you don't leave it in your account. You have to invest it. This is the thing that gives you the golden goose, right? That's the golden goose. And the golden goose lays the golden eggs. So what are you going to invest it in? So let's just say, for example, this is just an example. You decide, you know what, gold sounds really good right now. I think with all the turmoil that's going on out there, I think gold is good. Somebody says, no, silver's better. Silver's better because it moves more than gold. You know, if gold goes up a little bit, silver goes up even more. If gold goes down, silver goes down even more. So there's a lot of movement there. Some people say oil. Some people say, no, stocks. I have my favorite stock. Okay, whatever it is. What you're going to do is you're going to put the same amount. You're going to send that from your bank account to the broker every single month. You don't think about it. It is totally automated, my friends. You're going to, listen, let me tell you, this thing here, Euro cost average, you know how long it takes? It takes no time at all. No time. You set it up once, and that's it. No time. Zero. Zero. Fantastic. You will transfer. This is just an example. It's a small example, 100 euros, 200 euros, 300, whatever it is. I'm putting 100 to keep things simple. In January, how much? 100. February, how much? 100. March, how much? You know it, right? Every month, whether it goes up or down. This is a stock. Let's say the stock goes up. How much do you invest? 100. Okay. Next month, what does it do? Let's just say you're now in July. Okay. Next month, it goes down. How much do you invest? The same. The next month it goes down. In September it goes down even more. How much do you invest? The same. Okay. What does this mean? It means that you will, over time, have an average price, sometimes high, sometimes low, but on average it's in the middle of all of those prices. Okay. And what does this mean? It means that you have, instead of what most people do, who have, let's say they have some money to invest. Maybe they've saved up, or maybe they got given some money from a relative, and maybe the 100,000, right? And they decide to invest it. Well, if you would have invested it in July, you would have put all the money in right at the top, and then it went down. That is a terrible strategy. Unless you really are an expert, you shouldn't do that. You don't need to be an expert to do this. You go here, then here, then here, then here. On average, the price will be in the middle. So as soon as it comes back up again, you start making money. But if you would have put all your money in at the top, then you're going to be in for a lot of pain. Now, why am I showing you this strategy? I'm showing you this because I'm here to tell you that everybody, and I mean everybody on this call, should invest their money in some way, shape, or form. Because giving it to somebody else to invest is you giving up control of your own finances. You cannot give up control of your finances. That's like you giving up control of your health. You give to somebody else, right, I am no longer in control of what I eat. You are going to tell me what to eat. Come off it. No way. Well, it's the same as anything, like your career. You say, oh, I no longer want to be in control. You know, I'm going to give it to, and by the way, that's what some people do. They give control to their boss. Don't do that. You are in control. Let me ask you a question. All right, everybody, answer this on the questions. Who is in control of their own life? I would like to know. Who? Okay, that's quite a few people answering, but it's not enough. Oh, good. Jody says, he's saying me and my wife. Excellent. That is actually the right answer. Okay. Ah, Vincent. Okay, good. I like it. I should. It's good. So you know, right? Basically, everybody can do this strategy. Now, think about it. If you did this and you just started getting into the habit, and if I were on the Millionaire Mind Intensive stage, I would go, what's the word? The habit, right? The habit is more important than you making money in the first year. I know that sounds terrible. I know I shouldn't be telling you. I should be telling you you should be making millions in your first year. I know, I understand. But the reality is that getting into the habit of doing this every single month is more powerful, because then you're likely to do it for the rest of your life. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but Marcus, come on, this strategy isn't, it's okay, but surely there are better strategies out there. Of course there are. This is just the first baby concept. But if you want to totally automate something, then this is a fantastic thing that you can do. And I think that you can make approximately 5% a year on your investments. Boo, hiss, boo. I understand. 5% is nothing. I understand that. But hey, look, to start investing as a complete novice, to make 5% a year, come on, look, it's okay. All right, so we're going to start you with that. Now, I'm going to teach you some more, but that is the very first thing that I want to say. And Kees, I'm glad that you love your wife, and I'm glad you told me. Okay, that's fantastic. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. This is me. I'm the guy on the left. That's my wife on the right, Madrika. Our two little kids. I should probably change the picture. They're a little bit older now. Melania and Sienna. And I'm creator of the Buffalo market. Now, one thing that you need to know is that when a market goes up, whether it's the whichever, silver market, oil market, or whatever, they call that a what? What do you think they call that? I'm sure you guys know this, right? Or a lot of you know this. They call it a bull market, right? And when the market goes down, what do they call that? Most people know that, right? They call it the bear market. Thanks, guys, for answering. That's awesome. Let's keep it interactive, because the more interactive it is, the more you're likely to learn as well. If you're just sitting there, not taking any notes, I don't know whether it's all going to stay. So there is a third market movement that most people have never heard of, because they think you can only make money when markets either go up, or most people don't even know you can make money when markets go down. They think that you can only make money when markets go up. But there's even a third market, even, some people don't even know the second, but there's a third one. Does anybody know what that is called? Come on, make me proud. Do you know what that's called? Bulls, bears, and Peter. It's on the slide. Buffaloes, absolutely. Okay, the buffalo market. Hey, listen, I had to think of a big animal with a letter B. You got bull, you got bear. Somebody said, well, why don't you think of like a bee? You can't think of bee, like, zzz, you have this big bull, big bear, and then a little bee. Come on, buffaloes, okay? So then, the other thing is, I like to keep things very, very simple. And our speciality is really teaching people who are starting out. Because I don't know, people make things so complicated, and some people get frustrated. They go, "Come on, teach some more advanced stuff." And I look at them and I go, "Listen, are you making money yet?" Well, no, but I want to hear the latest, sexiest thing. And I said, "Listen, let's just start making some money with the simple stuff that I teach, and we can always go on afterwards to the more advanced stuff a little bit later. Is that okay with everybody?" So let's just keep things very, very simple. One of my favorite words. And also, as you know, I love the mindset, because it's crucial. It's as Tony says, 80% of success is mindset. Dana, don't worry, we will look after you. This is new to lots of people on the course. Actually, let me just ask, because some people here are saying, yes, please keep it simple. It's all very new to me. How many of you are beginners? If you're a beginner, just write beginner in the questions. Are total beginners when it comes to investing in the stocks or shares or gold or silver or oil or any of these things. Okay, all right, quite a few of you. Keep going. You do some fund investing, okay, beginners. I've been to Chuck Millen, okay. That's quite advanced, dude. That's like options trading. That's advanced. Okay, beginners, yep. Okay, good. And how many of you would say that you are a little bit more advanced? You already do some, let's say intermediate, maybe intermediate. So write intermediate in there then if you say. Okay, that's interesting. We have a real mixture of people here. And how many of you would say, hey, you're advanced, as in you're a day trader? You're like, woo, every day. We have a live boot camp going on right now. Right now, we actually have people sitting in my office that are actually trading right now. And this week, they've been trading with me. They've made 6% on their entire portfolio. Pretty cool. One guy, he's trading in my office. We're teaching them right now, and he's up £2,000. And he's trading, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 3 days, he's up 2,000. It's pretty cool. Another one is up about just over 1,000. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So, okay, here we go. So, and listen, again, I appreciate you guys. taking the time to submit your yeses and your nos and your answers to make it a little bit more fun and interactive as well. So I've written a book, The Wealth Workout. I've been on stage with Brian Tracy, Robert Kiyosaki like 7 times, T. Harv Eker about 20 times. He's my mentor. So quick question is this webinar about trading? It is about making money. It is about investing, and it is about making money off gold, silver, anything that you can trade. Okay, so hang on in there. And this is us at the Millionaire Mind Intensive. This is 3,000 people there, and been on stage with Tony Robbins, and I'm sure you know this guy as well, Richard Branson, and been on the BBC, and that's enough about me. All right, so this formula that I'm going to be sharing with you has really worked for me, and it's worked for my friends, and it will definitely work for you as well. So all you need to do is just stay open. I know that maybe sometimes I'm going too fast, and sometimes people think I'm going too slow, but we'll meet each other again, hopefully in Holland, you know, where you can come and really listen to me speak a little bit more in depth in this kind of field, but no prior experience is required. I don't even want to give it a name. I don't want to say trading, the stock market, or investing, because otherwise, you know, people have this idea about it, don't they? Right? They have an idea about what trading is. They've never done it, but they have an idea about it. They have an idea about the forex. You know, they have an idea about gold and silver. They've never done it. I want you to be totally open and just think, hold on, let me look at this again. Let me look at it from a beginner's point of view. Is there something out there that I can do in, let's say, listen to this, 10 minutes a month? A month! 10 minutes a month. That's it. That's what we're going for, guys. 10 minutes a month. Woohoo! You know, and so obviously I also have 10 minutes a week and 10 minutes a day strategy, but let's start with the 10 minutes a month first and foremost, shall we? Let's just go on that. So no prior experience is required. Now, listen to the people who have made money. That is one thing that is so important, is that listen to the right people. Does anybody know who this person is? Yes, Tim is the answer, yes. Do you know who this is? Jim. Jim, you're right. Jim Rogers. Oh, I've gone on one side too far. Jim Rogers. Jim Rogers, okay, is a gentleman. He now lives in Singapore, and he came together with George Soros. Do you know who that is? George Soros. And they put together something called the Quantum Fund. And over 10 years of investing other people's money, they made 4,200% for their investors. Is that good? 4,200%. That is awesome stuff. I'm sure you'd agree. Okay, so you know, with that kind of a track record, he's the kind of person I like to listen to. His name again, Jim Rogers. Okay, look him up, Jim Rogers. Now, here's Robert Kiyosaki. I like to listen to him as well. Oh man, Steve, you are fast. Robert Kiyosaki, absolutely. And this person here as well. Okay. Now, the reason that I like to listen to people like this, by the way, does anybody know who that is? Richard Duncan, Leon, you dude. Richard Duncan, absolutely. Richard Duncan is one of the leading economists, but who really, he has an answer. He doesn't just, but by the way, when you hear him, you want to shoot yourself basically, because he's saying it's all going, can I swear on this, Anu? I don't know whether I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to say things like, it's all going to shit? Am I allowed to say stuff like that? Probably not. But what we've done right now is, because we're printing so much money, and yes, this is Holland, and we're printing money. The problem is that the actual money is getting worth less and less, and so the problem with that is that people are turning to what? What can they do? Well, they can pump more money in, and the way he says it is that you can imagine this big raft, big raft, and it is sinking in a sea of debt, okay? And we are inside the raft. You are inside the raft. I am inside the raft. Your family is inside the raft. All the buildings that we have, all the money that we have is inside the raft. But the problem is it's got a leak. The raft has got a leak. So So we have to pump it up by credit, right? We put more and more credit into it. Pump it up, pump it up, but it's leaking. And what we've done with, I'm sure you've heard of QE, quantitative easing, one, okay, so we pump lots in, and of course then started coming down and go, oh, we have to do quantitative easing again, and then they pumped it up again, but of course it's got a leak. So what's happened very recently? They're pumping it up again, until, as Dana says, thank you, it's not going to work anymore. At some stage, what you do is you find, here's another metaphor that I quite like, you have some rubbish like a can in the alleyway, and you, instead of picking it up and taking care of it, you kick it down the alley, right? You think, what's this? It's messy, kick it. So you kick it, and then you carry on walking, and then you see another can, but then now you see the can that you kicked as well, so now there's two cans there. You go, what's this? You kick them down the road, right? Quantitative easing 3 is where you kick 3 cans down the road. So now when you keep going, there's now 4 cans, you understand? So the problem with that is, as he says, is we've just bought ourselves some time. He said 3 to 5 years, and then it's going to be an even bigger problem. The shit is really going to hit the fan, and that is extremely bad when that happens. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it means that maybe we need to rethink a few things, like saving money might not be such a good thing. What do we do with our money? We've got to invest it. We've got to learn how to invest it. No ifs, no buts, no more reading books, you know, about, yes, I've got to do it, and 5 years later realizing you still haven't done anything. We've got to actually do something. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I believe are going to make your money safe. Okay, this is what I believe. This is what I'm investing in. This is what my students are investing in. Okay, precious resource number 1. Okay, precious resource number 1 is in just about every single thing that you can imagine, including plastic, roads, in your cars. Can anybody guess what it is? It's oil. It's oil. It's used in so many different applications. It's like people say, well, why is oil so important? It's used in almost every manufacturing process. It is just in everything that we use, and so oil is a commodity. And this is another thing. This is why I've renamed it. I didn't want to call it a commodity. Why? Because people say, oh, are you talking about commodity trading? I'm not interested, so I'm leaving now. This is like, well, dude, come on, what have you ever done commodity? No, I don't. But I heard somebody talk. Who is this? But is this a millionaire you heard this from? Who told you? Well, no, it was my friend. Well, are they wealthy? You know, so okay. I think I've said my point. So I've given it a totally new name. You've heard of precious metals before. This is about. Yeah, that is cool, Jody. That is cool. Precious metals. This is precious resources. They're running out of it at some stage, or if they're not running out of it, then basically it's getting more and more expensive to get it out of the ground, right? So you need to invest in oil. Woo-hoo. Are you guys ready? Going out and investing in oil? Now people are saying, how do I invest in oil, Marcus? I can't just get a bucket down the, well, I suppose you could. You could go to the petrol station with a bucket and start putting it in your garden. I suppose you could do. No. You can actually trade something called an exchange-traded fund. Don't get scared by the name. It's just a name. It's just a name. ETF, an exchange-traded fund. By the way, you know the FTSE 100? That you can trade that as an exchange-traded fund. You know oil? You can just start investing in it. Yeah, you can use that one, Steve. The one I use is oil. It's just OIL. You know. So here it's just keep it simple. So that is one, and you know, don't worry if you don't know what an exchange-traded fund is, etc. I can go into more detail about that, hopefully when I come to Holland and I actually get to meet you guys and shake your hands and look you in the eye. Oil is up 410% in 10 years. My question to you is, were you investing in oil 10 years ago? Be honest now. And the answer probably is no. That's what everybody's saying here on the webinar. No, 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 no. I've got a whole big list of no's. Yeah. Oh, you put some in Shell? Yeah, okay, so that's one way of doing it as well. But that exposes you to other things, okay? That I don't want you going into companies unless you know what to do. And I can make you money out of the companies like Shell, right? But you need to know what to do, right? Oil, you don't really need to know what to do so much. So what about this one? Precious resource number 2. Are you ready? Precious resource number 2 is, let me ask you a question. If everyone's printing money and our currency is worth less and less and less and less, what do you think big countries such as India and China, if they can no longer go into the world reserve currency? By the way, what is the world reserve currency? Can you guys let me know? What is the world reserve currency? Yeah, you got it. US dollar. US dollar. And I'll tell you why, because when I normally ask that question, a lot of people go, is it gold? No, it's not gold. It's the US dollar is the world reserve currency. What does that mean? It means that it is safe. It is a safe haven. It is the reserve currency. If you've got a large chunk of money, like China, for example, where are they going to put their money? Well, they're going to put it in a safe place, right? So where are they going to put it? They're going to put it in dollars. Problem is, if the dollar is now starting to move up and down, or mainly down, but moving up and down, it is no longer seen as safe. Where do they have to, I've given you a lot of time to think about this, where do they have to go into? This is precious resource number 2, which is gold. You guys are on the ball. Gold, absolutely, okay? They got to go into gold. The reason that the gold price, by the way, have you guys been investing in gold the last 10 years? Because, as you will see in just a moment, gold is up 579% in 10 years. What have you been doing? And you didn't have to do any. Yvonne, no. And this is the point. The point is that gold is not a story of gold necessarily having more of a value. It is because people are losing confidence in paper money, and therefore they have to put their investments into something else. And therefore, the more the fiat money, they call it F-I-A-T, the fiat money, don't worry about it, and rare earth metals, yes, I'm going to come on to that in a moment. The more that goes down, the more gold goes up. So gold is just a play on the people losing confidence in the reserve currency. So I hope some of you learned something there, and I know that some of you already know this. So let's keep going. Precious resource number 3. Are you ready? Precious resource number 3 is what I invest in the most. Okay? It's something that is used, again, in so many different manufacturing. See, I didn't know this. It's actually used in batteries as well. You guys, I'm way ahead of you, already telling me the answer. It is, of course, silver. Silver. Wow. Why do I invest more in silver than I use than I do in gold? Well, the main reason is because when gold goes up just a tiny little bit, silver goes up a lot. It's like on an elastic band. Okay? Yeah, it fluctuates more. So if gold goes down a bit, silver goes down a lot, which means, you know, we were getting in at around, because it kept coming down to 25, 26, 25, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26. And so we kept getting in. I was buying for my children. I was buying for, it's only 1.5 years old, right? They're massive silver investors. It's fantastic. And they're very clever, my children. And the point is here that where is it now? It's at around where? 32, something like that? Let me just look it up while we're doing this. Let me just see. I think it's at around the 32 mark. So just while I'm doing that, does anybody know where the price of silver is? 33.5. Excellent. Wow. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Everyone's giving me different answers. It's about 33.3 at the moment. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So great. So up around, what, 20% at least from where we bought last, which is just awesome. Okay. And what did we have to do? Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, quick question here. Somebody said, isn't it dangerous for us to invest in the ETF or the paper? Or some people will say, well, should I buy silver, as in the fixed something coin that I can hold, bury it in the garden, or do I do it on the stock market? And I am a big believer in the B word. What's the B word? When you have a choice between two, you do both. Do both. And the reason is because in the short term, we're going to make some cash, And what am I going to do with that cash? I'm going to buy gold and silver coins with it. Do you understand? So you make some money quickly through the trading and investing, the way I'm going to show you, and then you rotate it out and you buy the real stuff and you bury it in your back garden, and you don't tell anybody where you buried it. Okay, silver, by the way, is up 750% in 10 years. Can you see that? So it's gone up more even than gold. What were you doing? 750%. You know, when my grandfather found out that my mother was getting married, he didn't say anything. He went into the garden. He took up a pickaxe and a shovel, and he went down. And he took out this kind of belt of gold, and he gave it to her. My mother bought her first house with that belt, like a belt, you know, round the trousers, just with lots of coins on them. That, and over the years now, that property is now worth just under £1 million. That was just one belt of gold. So when people have said to me, oh, come on, Marcus, you know, we're not in the Middle Ages. Listen, this was just 2 generations ago where this used to happen. You understand? It's totally normal for you to buy it. Okay? And here, listen, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that, you know, things like platinum, for example. Platinum, you know, have you ever thought about buying that? Yeah, it's more and more in demand because things like silver, things like platinum are actually used up in the manufacturing process, which means that they're getting more and more rare. Okay? Things like gold. Most people don't know this, by the way. Did you know that 99% of all the gold that has ever been mined is still in circulation? Did you know that? Whereas the silver and the palladium, it's used up, right? It's used up in things like the batteries and the catalysts, like the cars. Like palladium is used in the car catalysts a lot. Now, think about this. If China by 2014 is going to be producing 100 million cars, not a million, not 10 million, 100 million cars, and they all need platinum, that is something's gonna happen to the price of platinum. Okay, that's just what I believe. This is just, in my experience, what is going to happen. Okay, if it helps you in any way, fantastic. So that's precious resource number 4. Only went up 353%, but still, you know. And platinum is cheaper than gold for the first time in 20 years as well. So again, another reason to start looking at, you know, getting into some of these things, okay?
Welcome to GoToWebinar, Web Events Made Easy.
Your question, how many of you have ever said, I think I'm going to buy some palladium? Most people haven't, and that's why it hasn't moved up that much, because most people don't actually know about it. So 118% in 10 years, not too bad. It's just another people asking, what is it? It's just another metal. Just look it up, just Google it. Yes, I do believe that these resources will go up in the next 10 years. Yes, I do. And then you have precious stocks. What the hell is a precious stock? Well, for me, a precious stock is something which used to have, it used to be like, I'll give you an example, give you a concrete example of what I believe a precious stock is. A precious stock is something like old tech stocks, like Microsoft. Microsoft used to be like Apple. You guys have all heard of Apple, right? And Apple stock is just roaring up. Well, lately it's come down a bit. By the way, I got into Apple the other day. Why? Because it went down 20% off its peak. This is not a recommendation. I'm just telling you what I did. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It got 20% from its high. When it goes down 20%, by the way, this is really important. And that's why I think we need to meet each other so I can tell you this again and again and again. So finally, maybe on the 3rd time, the majority of people get it. Because I had to go to things like, you know, Wealth Mastery. Like 4 times I went to Wealth Mastery till I really got it. You don't just buy, you don't just put 10,000 euros in because it's come down 20%. You start accumulating it. You start accumulating it, and you know, next a couple of months later you start accumulating some more. You don't just put all your money in. That's very, very important, because you want an average price. Remember, You don't want to get in at the top. You don't know whether it might go down another 50%. I don't know, right? Because I don't, you got it, Vincent, right? Yeah, so you don't get in all at once because I don't have a crystal ball. People ask me, Marcus, if you're such a guru, what do you think is going to happen to the stock market in the 5 years? Okay, let me get my crystal ball. Oh, I've just got it in my pocket here. I don't know. And I could tell you it's going to go up, right? Then 50% of the time I'm going to be right. I'm not interested in that. So we don't play that game. We don't try and time the market. I'm going to come on to that in just a moment. Microsoft is a perfect example of a stock that just goes sideways. Okay, if you look at a chart, and I'm going to show you some charts, probably in a moment, if not certainly when I come to Holland. But I'm going to show you some charts, and you will see over the last 10 years what's happened to the Microsoft price. Over 10 years, it has just gone sideways. That's it. Gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down. But over that time, it's gone nowhere. My friends, the price has not moved. You understand? It's just going sideways, which means that you wait for it to come down a bit and then get in, then you sell. It's really, really simple. US water companies, oh my goodness, this is so simple, which is, let me ask you a question. How many of you, I want you to be honest, had a shower or a bath today? While I wait for your answers. Okay, out of the hundreds of people that are on this call, most of you, yes, you had a shower. All right, okay. I just found out something about Dutch people. No, I haven't. Leon, you're testing me because you think I'm not looking at your answer. Okay, so what does that mean? What that means is that everybody uses water. Now let me ask you another question. Okay, are you going to not do it tomorrow, or have 2 showers tomorrow, or are you gonna stop? What I'm saying to you is you are going to use the same amount of water tomorrow as you did today, right? True? True or true? And that means that a company, a water company, is not going to suddenly have a big spike in their demand, and they're not going to double the amount of profits. So therefore, water companies tend to be, and again, this is just what I've seen and the money that I make out of it, very, very stable. They have a monopoly in their region. I hope right now you're thinking, ding, 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 all these euro signs are coming up, ding, 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 right? Because you're thinking, hold on a moment, so all I need to do is wait for the price to come down, let's say 15, 20%, for example. I'm not making a recommendation. And then you start waiting for it to go a little bit sideways, and then you get in, wait for it to come back up again. Okay? Yes, I know, Peter, but I'm getting to that answer. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I'm going to give you the answer. Haha, I can't wait. I can't wait. I love your questions. I love your questions. Okay, and then we also have some European or UK buffalo stocks. I call these sideways. Old tech stocks that go sideways are buffalo stocks. US water companies are buffalo stocks. And this is, and by the way, rare earths is something else. One of you already mentioned that. Rare earths, there are 17 elements in the periodic table that are extremely rare, and China is cornered the market. They are, I tell you, China, we've got to watch them because it's a different mindset. You know, when we don't understand them, they don't understand us. It's going to be really interesting the next few years about what's going to happen with China, because they're going to control a lot of what happens. So we don't even need these, whatever they are, oil, a rare earth. Somebody just asked again, what is a rare earth? A rare earth is basically 17 elements in the periodic table. You know what the periodic table is? Periodic has all the elements like nitrogen and all of these kind of things. And rare earths, there are 17 on there that are extremely either rare, or they are, some of your chemists here, nitrogen, potassium, etc. Thanks for helping me out. Calcium, sodium, etc. Yeah. Periodiek Systeem der Elementen. Thank you, Carola. Okay, helium. Thank you. And rare earths are on this. And what basically happens is that some of them are very, very rare, or are not so rare. They can be found, but are very difficult or expensive to get. Okay, so those are rare earths, and they're needed in things like weapon technology, but not only that, but they're extremely expensive. So let me ask you a question. Where is this stock going? Or this doesn't have to be a stock, right? It could be anything. It could be oil. This could be the gold price. Where do you think it's going? Jody, you are too clever. Okay, interesting. All right, let's see whether most of you said down. Some of you said up. Where do you think this is going now? Oh, interesting. Most of you said up. You're right. Whoa, you guys, are you traders? Where do you think this is going? Okay. Okay, good. Let's see whether you can make it 4 times lucky. Where do you think this is going? Okay, most of you said up. It, of course, went down. Do you understand? I know I tricked you there, but that's the point, isn't it? Do you see? The point is because we, and it's like, I think Jana said it, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, so therefore, what we need to do is we need to have some very, very simple strategies that we can do. Okay, so I'm just looking at the time here and making sure that I've got enough time. I've got a few minutes left. Okay, what I want to go into in more depth is 5 proven money-making concepts. Now, I've gone into number 1, into some details. You can go ahead and do that, and especially for kids, you know, if you want to leave, if you want to start. Listen, I've got a 1.5-year-old and a 3.5-year-old, and they both got pensions. Do you guys have pensions? Because sometimes I travel around the world and I talk about pensions, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you guys have pensions? You don't have pensions, right? Okay. Some of you are saying yes, some of you are saying no, but you know what it is, right? It's for what it is worth. I agree, right? But you say that, but yes, if you start at the age of 30, 40, 50, then what's the point? But if you start at the age of 1.5 to 3.5, you start them and you invested for them for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Do you understand? It is worth it. You understand the difference? This is why I'm talking about starting now. As soon as my children were born, I opened up a pension. I know that sounds crazy because nobody did that for me, but I just thought, well, let's look ahead. So you can do this dollar cost averaging. It'll make about 5% a year, okay? So it's not brilliant, but it's better. But this one, oh my goodness, is value cost average. Woohoo! This is just 10 minutes a month. So yeah, you have to spend some time on it. Yeah, dollar cost average is fully automated, but this you actually have to spend some time on it, so most people won't do it, I know. You know, is it worth me going through it? Because you probably won't even do it. That was a test, by the way. Let me just see. Yes, if it's worth it. It is worth it. Definitely it is worth it. Okay, I'm going to go through this, okay? Value cost averaging, and then you have the buy-sell zones. Now, what am I saying? Look at the right-hand side. On the right-hand side of the line, you will see that at number 1 and number 2, you are investing. There is very little time that you actually put into it. Excuse me. Excuse me. And as you go up to 2, 3, 4, and 5, you start trading. Okay. What does that mean? All that means is you spend more time on it. That's all it means. Okay. So look, as I go up here, it's fully automated. Number 2 is 10 minutes a month. Number 3 is 10 minutes a week. Oh my goodness, you can still all do this, right? And then the next one, now we're in trading territory, and guess what? It's 10 minutes a day. So don't give me any of this, oh, trading is for other people. What do you mean? It's 10 minutes a day. Are you telling me that this strategy can be complicated if it's just 10 minutes a day? How can that strategy be complicated? How? I want to know. It's only 10 minutes a day. It cannot be that complicated. And then number 5, where you leverage it. Now that is a little bit more complicated, where you use other people's money to do exactly the same thing. It does take some time to understand how to start. Vincent, you're right. But that is called building a foundation. And the more time it takes you to do, I'm going to turn it on its head. I'm going to say to you, Vincent, that the more time it takes you to do it, the more time that you are likely to be. Listen, you know, driving, I failed my first test. Okay, look, I admit it. I'm a guy and I'm admitting it. But I think that made me a better driver. Do you know why? Because if I would have kind of gone through it but not really understood it, they failed me. It means that there was something I didn't understand. So I had to do the exam again, so I had to learn again. The next time I really didn't know what I was doing. Vincent, I hope that teaches, not just you, but everybody here, and I know you know this, that it's okay if it takes you a little bit of time to learn it. It means you're building up a solid foundation. You might not agree with me, but that is definitely what I believe. I've been trading for 12.5 years, and I've been training people for 8.5 years, and it's you know, it's I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Well, I'm not. How can you see it all, right? But okay. But what I wanted to tell you here is the one on down here is basically you are not trying to time the market at all, whereas at the top you are trying to time the market. Okay, that's it. All right. So the first one you can fully automate. You might get 5 to 7% a year. Okay, I've only got a few minutes left, so I'm going to go into. Oh my goodness, what happened to concept number 2? You're joking. I'm missing a whole slide. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to teach you. I had the slide. I thought I had the slide in here. I'm just going to teach you, so you're going to have to really listen carefully. All right. So instead of you putting 100 here, 100 in February, 100 in March, 100 in April, you are now going to do something called value cost average. All right, so write that down. Value cost average. It is almost the same. The only difference is that once a month you need to look at the chart and you need to say to yourself, has it gone up or has it come down? Let me repeat that. Once a month you look at it, has it gone down or has it gone up? Let's go through this. Let's say you put 100 in January. Okay, then you don't look at it again because you're investing, you're not trading, you're not trying to time the market. What is most important? You listen to Warren Buffett. I listen to Warren Buffett. You know why? Because he knows how to make money. Do you understand? He knows. So I listen to him. It's not rocket science. The guy's a billionaire. I listen to him. He says time in the market is more important than timing the market. So I don't try and time the market. I want to have time in the market. So, true, Leon, but that's why I'm teaching you this one, right? That's why 5 to 7 isn't enough. So this one is going to get you up to 15% a year, and the ones after that 25 and then 35, okay? So, if in January it was up here, okay, and then in February, did it go up or down? Tell me, did the price go up or down? Okay, so most of you are saying it's come down. Absolutely. So what I'm going to do instead, write this down, instead of putting in the same amount of money, I'm going to put in a little bit more money. You understand? So I'm going to be buying more shares at the slightly lower price. Then the next time it went up, let's put some numbers on here, right? So I put 100 here, and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to put 125 in here. I'm going to keep it simple. It could be 150, whatever, 125. The next month, where did it go? In March, did it go up or down? Which one? It went up. So now, my question to you, do I put more or less money in? I'm going to put less money in. No, not more. I'm going to put less money in, okay? So let's just say this one was 100. And then it was 125, so now I'm going to put 100 in again. You understand? The next time it went up again, so what am I going to do now? Well, you can either put in 100, or if you want to do an advanced value cost average, you put 75 in. Yes, you guys are excellent, right? And then if it goes up again, you can put even less in. Do you understand? Forget about brokerage fees or whatever. I understand you're saying that, oh, but what about brokerage? Forget it. This is a concept. This could be 1,000. It could be 10,000. You understand? So now, what does that mean? And by the way, when it comes back down again, you'll be putting more in and more in and more in. You understand? So what does that mean? It means that, thank you, Jody. It means there is a lower average price. On the dollar cost average, you will get an average price. On the value cost averaging, which is concept number 2, and again, apologies that you, I don't know where that slide is, you are going to have a lower average price. By doing what? By doing what? By just spending 10 minutes more a month? You get a lower average price? Oh my goodness. Yeah? So, obviously now the questions that you have, and some of you asking, when are you going to sell and stuff like that? Well, I'd like to cover more of that when I come over to Holland, but I just want to keep things very, very simple for now, okay? Very, very simple for now. Just giving you some concepts for you to think about. The third one, very, very quickly, because I have to finish up here. I want to take some questions as well. is the buy-sell zone. Now we're moving on to number 3. So number 3, so we've done number 1, which was pound cost averaging, number 2, which was value cost averaging. Now it's the buy-sell zones. Now what we're saying is, hold on a moment, why am I even buying up here? Why am I even buying up here? Why do I want to do that? I don't want to buy up here. Okay, so now, hold on, you're saying something else to me though. You're saying now you are trying to time the market. How do you know up here is up here? How do you know it's not going up even more? Maybe up here is only in the middle. Do you understand? So now you're saying to me, but Marcus, I want to try and time the market. Okay, so you are trying to become more of a trader. So, okay, we have something for this as well. All you do is you draw a line at the top. Don't worry what it's called right now. People call it resistance. You can call it, I don't care what you call it. You can call it an alligator if you like, but it's a line at the top. And down at the bottom, you draw another line, which is called support or the floor. And then you just draw a line in the middle, okay? And then you draw another 2 lines, one in the middle of those 2 lines and the middle of those 2 lines. You understand? So you just have 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%, which is 100% of the whole range. You just draw 2 lines on the outside, 1 in the middle, and another 2 in the middle there, okay? Now you have zones, and the bottom 2 are called the what zones? They are called the buy zones. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being interactive. And at the top here, what do you call those? You call those the sell zones. Absolutely. Because some people are going, well, hold on a moment, Marcus, why am I buying up here? Okay. Now, obviously, this works extremely well if it goes sideways, and it works well if it goes up. And what happens if it goes down, people are saying? Well, I'd like to answer all of those questions, but let me just first of all explain what's happening. If the whatever it is, the oil, the gold, because people always ask me, how do I invest in gold? How do I invest in this? Well, this is how you do it. You basically draw some lines, and then it takes the guesswork out of it. So if it's down here, you buy, let's say, 125 euros worth, and if it's up here, 100. Okay, so if it's here, 100, 125, 100, 125, because this is the upper zone, this is the lower zone, so you want to be buying a little bit more here. If it goes here, you sell 50% of it, and if it goes here, you sell all of it. What does that mean? Month number 1, what happens? Well, number one was here, so you wouldn't do anything because it was in the sell zone, right? Then you would buy down here. How much? 125. Then if it's, depending on which zone it is, 100. Next month, you don't need to look at it again. Another month. You understand? I'm taking your time out of it. If you want to look at it more, you can do, but now you are timing the market. Most people don't want to be traders. And I always say, start with concept number 2, the value cost averaging, or concept number 3, and then you will find that you will want to do this thing called trading because it is so simple. But most people don't want to do that to start off with. They just want to have something in 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a month, and if that works for them, they'll go on. Okay? Now, I'm going to answer that question, Jan. So if it goes up here, what happens? You sell 50%. Now you have 50% left. Next month, you look at it. Oh, it stopped here. I'm going to sell 100%. Next month, where is it? It's in the sell zone. What do? Nothing. Next month in July, it's in the sell zone. What do? Nothing. I don't have anything to sell. In August, it's in this zone here. You start buying it. How much? 100. Here, depending on what zone it is either 100 or 125. This zone, it's in the 125. Here, it's 100. Can you see you're accumulating? As soon as it goes up here, what do? You sell 50%. You understand? Now, Jan is asking me a great question, which I'd like to answer because I'm sure some of you are asking the same question. If this breaks the support level, you are going to take a loss, okay? And the answer is no, because you are not timing the market yet. What you are doing is you are investing. So if it goes down, and this is going to answer everything for you, and then I'm going to stop and hand over to Anu, which is this. You are going to be investing not in individual stocks that could go to zero. You are going to be investing in exchange traded funds of indexes like the index of the Dutch market, like the index of the UK market, like the index of the Nasdaq or the Dow Jones or the S&P 500, because, my friends, they cannot go to zero. Write that down. Some of you, I'm sure the lights are coming on right now. If not, don't worry. We can explain this again when we're next year, when I'm in Holland, because they cannot go to zero. You cannot go to zero. Therefore, you cannot lose all your money. So therefore, it is going to come back. It is. And it's the same with gold, and it's the same with silver, and it's the same with oil. Can they go to zero? Will they go to zero? The answer is no, no, and no. So therefore, all you're doing is accumulating near the bottom and waiting for the turn to come. And it doesn't matter whether it comes in 1 week or whether it comes in 1 year. And now some of you are having a heart attack because you're saying, what, you want me to wait a whole year? My friends, you are going to be investing every month. Do you know how much money it is? You want to be, suddenly it's going to be thousands that you've invested, tens of thousands that you've invested over time. And this is more of a medium to long-term strategy. And if you want to learn how to do the other stuff, like the buffalo things as well, I don't have time right now, okay? I've run out of time. But that is when you start timing the market. That is when you start getting in at a certain point. Do you understand? You don't need to be a genius to do this either. All you need to do is you need some simple 5-point checklist, which I'll go into much, much more when I come to Holland. But here they are if you want them. It needs 3 bounces, a clear pattern. The price needs to be a certain price. We need a certain amount of volume, and we need a trading ratio. I'll come on to the trading ratio in more detail, but that's the secret. These are the kind of things that we're looking at, sideways markets. Most people, when they see this stock, now we've moved on to stocks. Why? Because we are trading now, okay? Now we're trading. If you look at this stock, most people would never, they don't want to get into this stock. Why? Because it's not going anywhere. But this is the stock we want. We want the stock that's not going anywhere. You understand? Look at that. From here to here, nothing's happened. Nothing at all. But can you understand? We are going to draw some lines. And when we draw those lines, suddenly you have our lovely buffalo strategy. And we can, guess what? We can actually short the market as well. But first, we get in at the bottom, get out the top. Get in at the bottom, get out the top. Get in at the bottom, get out the top. And we make money. Yeah? 80% return just on this stock going sideways. Now, you've got to find those. You've got to find those stocks. And that's half the problem, is finding the stocks. But we have a service. We do it for you. You know? You don't even need to do it. But most people don't know that you can actually make money going down as well. Or they know it, but they have never done it. So you can actually make money going down on these stocks as well, because they're buffalo stocks. Okay, so not only do you just make 80%, you can make more than that. Okay, so these are the kind of, I'm running out of time here slightly, but hopefully all this was an idea. No, not using options. Honestly, options is really advanced stuff, you know. I think it is anyway. So mainly you can, Jody, you can use options. It's just a little bit advanced, you know. That's the only thing. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So why an automated system? Okay, let's just go. Okay. So this is my daughter, okay, Melania, age 3, and you have silver and platinum that I've invested for her already. And here is little Sienna here, okay, she's aged 1, and she's an oil and palladium investor already. Now, I don't know whether you have children or whether you have younger people in your family, but you can start doing this kind of a thing for them. So I understand that everybody wants to make money for themselves, but you are doing it for yourself at the same time. You're accumulating these things, okay? Everybody wants to have 100,000 or 1 million given to them right now. Isn't it true? Come on. Isn't it true? But for them to have, to do that, they need to at some stage learn how to do this, you know? And if this was your grandparent looking at you on the right hand side and you're smiling at them going goo goo go 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 like this, and they're thinking, oh, their heart melts, and they think, I'm going to learn how to do this. Well, I don't know whether they did or not. You tell me. Did anybody give you $1 million or 100,000? So all I'm saying is, let's reverse roles. Why don't you do it? Why don't you be the person that does it? And one of the other things that also we do is we go into schools as well. We have a program called the Wealth for Teens, where we start teaching concepts such as, debt and credit cards, why not to use credit cards or how to use them properly, and compound growth and the importance of saving and things like that. And if you're interested in joining us there and getting that into the Dutch market, that would be absolutely fantastic as well. It's a non-profit. This is my foundation. We actually have a charity. Because I thought, well, hold on, why did the Rockefeller have a foundation? I'm me. I'm going to have one, and you're you, and why don't you have one? Yeah. Steve, that's hilarious. This is why Steve's saying he had a bit of a challenge when trading, because you shouldn't start trading. In my opinion, you shouldn't start trading. My message to you is start investing. And people say, well, that takes too long. Not the way I show you. Because I show you the best of both worlds. I show you the middle, the sweet spot. I call it trade investing. It's not trading. It's not investing. It's right in the middle. So listen, I don't know whether you got something out of that. I hope that it got you thinking a little bit about maybe platinum, gold, oil, silver, etc. But I just wanted to mention that I would love to come fly over and come to your beautiful city and country as well. And on the 9th and the 10th of February 2013, the Success Gids, don't laugh, okay? They have basically put on this amazing event on the 9th and 10th of February, and it is going to be inviting some world-class speakers that are going to be talking about their field of expertise. And my field of expertise is getting complete beginners to start investing stroke trading using very, very simple strategies. Okay, so I would love to see you there, and all you need to do is go to this one here, successgids.nl/Marcus, and because it's an early bird special, it is I don't know how much it is, but I'm sure it's the lowest you'll ever get, because it is an early bird special. As they say, the early birds, they get the worm. And it's February the 9th to the 10th, 2013. I do believe that it certainly is in the Netherlands, but I believe that it is in Amsterdam, I'm pretty sure. So go there now and register for this now, because I'm going to go into much more detail. I didn't really have a lot of time here. I want to go into a lot more detail onto this, and really, and we'll have some Q&A sessions, and I want to meet you in the breaks, and really show you what it is that we're doing. By the way, we already have some graduates already in the Netherlands. I mean, we've got Sebastian on this call here. He's a great guy, and he's already teaching people in the Netherlands how to do this as well, like as a kind of a support. So, it's all there for you guys. Go to successgids.nl/Marcus, and they've got an absolutely fantastic offer for you. So make sure that we see you there. And remember, if you're not growing, what does it feel like to grow? I mean, when I was in a certain type of financial challenge at some stage, I'm a millionaire now, but it wasn't always the case, right? So when that was the case, I mean, what could I do? I went to these kind of events, where you had the best of the best of the best. Front row, taking lots and lots of notes, and I look forward to seeing you there. And please do come. I really want to see you there. I want to meet you. So I'm going to hand over now to Arnu from Success Gids, and he's going to hopefully tell you a little bit more about the event.